People. We're here, fam. We're here. Listen, got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, the transfer window is still ongoing. 3 more weeks until the season. It feels like it's going to be a long 3 weeks, but listen, this is the gap of football between the Euros and the Premier League that we knew was going to be raucous. It was going to be messy. It was going to be, full of rumors and other things. But listen, the rumors come thick and fast, and I've got no choice as a content creator but to give you the news. Obviously, I think some news has come as a surprise and some hasn't. I think we look at what we're going to discuss today. This name that I put on my thumbnail and that I put on my title could be a surprise to people, but you never know. Could be an alternative for Chelsea because we know our main bread and butter is obviously Haaland. But who knows if that can be completed? I've given my thoughts before, but you always got to be prepared as a club. But yeah, so the first rumor to speak about is this one here, Griezmann. Griezmann, obviously, we know Barcelona are suffering through financial problems. That's obvious. We all know this. They weren't able to register some of their new signings because of their problems. Problems such as wages and finances of transfers, and we know that Griezmann is on a very high wage along with others like Dembele and other things. And we know that Barcelona obviously signed Messi to a new contract, which means that they need to kind of sell some players, and the players they will sell, obviously, because we know the clubs know Barcelona's situation, they won't be for a high price. And this name was brought up. But before I carry on, let me just welcome some of the people in the comments. Concierge of Crime, my guy. Big up. Man like Stans, big up, bro. Big up to you, my guy, Concierge. We've got Melina, obviously. Melina showing bare support for this channel. Make sure you go subscribe to her channel as well, Miss Melina. Bare content coming through, bro. She's very talented in everything she does. Big up to her. But yeah, so Griezmann, man, listen. We know that Barcelona need to sell their big players in the likes of Dembele, maybe even Coutinho. Griezmann is a name. Griezmann's popped up today as a name. I know it's old news, but Mundo Deportivo actually recently, today, they reported the news that, if you see in the thumbnail, sorry, not in the thumbnail, in the description below, that Griezmann could be an alternative to Lukaku and Haaland if those deals don't get done. Because we know that number one, Lukaku, unfortunately, has come out and said that he wants to stay with Inter Milan. And Haaland is obviously the impossible, or I'd say improbable, deal to make. C1 London here saying, I don't want Griezmann. I don't think he's that good. Plus, he's a racist, to be fair. If we are going to get Barca players, we could get De Jong and Pedri and leave Barca in problems smoothly. Got Hassan saying, Slender, my guy. That is not my name, but big up to you, Hassan. Yeah, listen, regarding this comment, man, bro, Griezmann is a racist. And also, this is a mad statement, but Griezmann has had racist incidents. And I think it's more than one incident, which doesn't look good on you as a player. But the truth is that as a football player, he is way too similar to Kai Havertz for me in the terms of being a second striker. We've got a second striker who's a forward, you know what I mean? That is just operating in the front three, on the right, on the left, on the middle. That's what he does. That's what Havertz can do as well. And I don't want that dilemma of Havertz and Griezmann being the same profile. I don't even think they'll work well together because they kind of need a target man who makes the runs in behind. They're the type of players who want to drop deep and receive the ball on the half turn, link up play with the wingers and the midfielders. So to me, depending on the price, really and truly, if it's a really low price, I could consider him as a player who could come in and play in like Champions League games or important games of some sorts. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's an interesting one. Hassan Singh is a good striker, but hated guy. He is hated. Yes, he is hated. Obviously, listen, hate is never excusable, but he doesn't help himself in situations. There's been videos of him that have been released in the Barcelona website, YouTube channel of him doing really weird things and offending people of Asian descent, which is ridiculous. But listen, this is not why I'm here. I'm here to talk about Griezmann as a football player, the qualities he has. I think United were linked with him, Chelsea were linked with him for a long time, and we missed the window of signing him. And honestly, I'm not sure if I regret it. This coming up now is just, I think Mundo Deportivo have 1.2 million followers on Twitter, and they're reasonably reliable. I think the thing about Griezmann is that I feel like he's had a relatively good season, and people haven't actually noticed that. I think he started off at Barcelona quite poorly, and I think it's difficult to adjust to playing to Messi when you're the main guy at Atletico Madrid. That's very normal. But his second season has actually been a lot better than people think. I'm just going to get his numbers out, but let me just read some of your comments before I do. His wages concern me. Rather get Danny Ings. Interesting. Lambs reacts. Lambs, big up Lambs. You guys know what to do. If you guys see Lambs in the comments, make sure you go subscribe to her channel. Like all her videos, all great. How to take a massive pay cut to come to... Agreed. Listen, I'm going to get his stats out from last season. If you guys can just bear with me 1 second. We will just discuss them and see how they'll benefit us or not. Keep in mind, it hasn't been a very successful season for Barcelona either. And he's been the epicenter of that attack along with Messi. But let me just have a look at the stats. Listen, one thing I know for sure is that his stats will be better than our strikers' stats. Do you know what I mean? So our strikers and our forwards in general, to be honest. One thing to note as well, by the way, he is 30 years old. To me, that's a bit of a... not sure about that one. But so overall, in the whole season, played 51 games and scored 20 goals and 13 assists. Decent stats. In the league, scored 13 goals and assisted 8 times. Copa del Rey, 6 goals, 3 assists. 3 goals and 6 games, 3 goals and 4 assists. Champions League, 7 goals. Am I going to get this right? 7 games and 2 goals. Listen, stats are very good. Let's see what Lambs is saying. Actually, this is interesting. See what Johnny posts. Yeah, Johnny's a nutter, man. Big up to Johnny, man. He's a nutter. He's an interesting guy, man. Interesting guy. He did jinx it. Listen, maybe he jinxed it. Maybe he helped make it happen. You never know, man. You never know. But no, we're talking about Griezmann. We'll get on to Haaland. Griezmann stats, better than, as I expected, better than most of our strikers, but the bar is very low. A certain Timo Werner scored 60 goals. So the bar is very low. And anyone who comes in, I think, will be an upgrade. And someone like Ings, as Hassan mentioned here, would also be an upgrade. Doesn't mean that it's the right and correct appointment for Chelsea up front. Listen, for me, I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'll be very honest with you guys. I don't see it happening. And if it does happen, I don't see it being successful to an extent. So the truth is that I was actually about to say this. If we're going to get someone like Griezmann, who's 30 years old and over, I'd rather get, Lewandowski. Obviously, I know it's a more difficult deal to achieve, but that's how I see it, man. That's how I see it. Yeah, listen. This stream's not going to be too long, by the way, guys. Everyone's watching. If you watch, by the way, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. My signal just went down, but I hope you guys can still hear me. Subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more content here. I know content has been slacking nowadays, but I promise you, I'm trying to fit this in as much as I can and concentrate on this more. Yeah, listen. This topic for me, I'll give the story by Mundo Deportivo a 4 out of 10. I think it's false, man. I'll give him a stamp. I guarantee you it will not happen. But you never know, man. Listen, if he does come in, we'll support it. The next topic, obviously, is this. So Chelsea youth. It's been announced recently that we have indeed um, went our separate ways with Livramento, Lewis Bate, and there's other names as well. I'm gonna talk about these two because they're quite highly rated in our academy. Um, I think Livramento, obviously, I believe. Listen, I don't know the exact reasons why he wants to leave, why they all want to leave, but I think the pursuit of Hakimi and Traore left a bitter taste in Livramento's mouth. That's all I can think of because really and truly, we didn't sign Hakimi, so surely you should see it as an opportunity for you to kick on, right? For you to kick on, and I need like believe in yourself that you can actually displace Reece James because we know Aspilicueta is not going to last forever, right? So someone like Livermore could have competed with Reece James for years, but I think he's chosen to take the path of leaving, which is, by the way, respect to him, respect to every single Chelsea youth player who decides they want to pursue their own career. They're not going to wait for Chelsea to give them the opportunity. Respect to them because, listen, I don't think many of them have been successful in an extent of winning trophies, the biggest trophies, but this could be the start of it. And as Chelsea fans, do not cry if a player leaves and becomes successful in other places, especially if the person leaving has his position occupied by a player more superior. So someone like Livramento, if he does leave, goes to Brighton and then gets a Man City move, don't cry about it, bro, because we had Reece James. Even if Reece James doesn't work out in the future, in this very moment, he's a much better player and he can't be displaced by Livramento. And I know we have to think for the future, and of course, Reece James is also thinking for the future, but unless we're signing backups, as a club, Chelsea Football Club should never sign backups. If we're signing backups rather than putting our academies as backup, then I have a problem with it. But until now, I don't see that happening, so I'm not complaining. I want to call it an obsession with youth. It's an obsession. We have to stop. Listen, I don't want people like Kai in the comments. Obviously, I'm going to get his comments out. Lambs, Hassan, all of us, yeah, even Josh, all of us go on channels. We give our opinions. I want people to listen to us. Yeah, I'm not trying to big ourselves up here, but the big accounts have different agendas. We don't have agendas. I'm not here to give you my agenda. I'm here to give you my thoughts. And my thoughts is that some people's obsession with the youth is coming from a place that's not honest. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be very pure about this. It doesn't come from a place that is, their thoughts and their own and their own opinion. I promise you, it's an opinion based on what's popular at the time, based on what propaganda they have to spread, based on what's put in their pockets. Yeah, and more life to them. Keep feeding your pockets. I'm not one to watch people's pockets. You do your thing, but if you're trying to cause division in my fan base, I'm gonna call you out. Understand that this youth obsession started recently, and it needs to end as soon as possible. No club in the world, for me personally, I know I'm very biased, but I haven't seen this much disruption and stress and drama about youth more than Chelsea. Like when a youth player leaves another club, I don't hear a sniff of it. But because Chelsea have a successful youth academy and production, everyone cries about it. It's just the way it is. We can't have a team full of academy players, right? In our current squad, we've got Reece James, Mason Mount, Andreas Christensen, by the way, he is actually part of our academy, but people don't want to admit that. Dujon Sterling, Armando Broja, Tino Anjorin, all part of our academy, of our squad. What other team can say that and say they've won a Champions League for 5 months? Was it 8 weeks ago? What other team in world football can say that? Not many. So stop crying, let it go, and stop persuading people to kind of back players that were in our academy once upon a time, that are no longer there, that play for a rival club, and people know who I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about it and people call me obsessed, but it's enough, man. This is a bit of a rant, but honestly, I've had enough of it. I'm on Twitter a lot, and I like to interact with people and tweet out my opinions. Yeah, but I've had enough of it, man. It's literally. Listen, I lost 4 viewers because of this, but I don't care. I'll say it how it is. This obsession needs to stop, man. Livramento and Lewis Bate, best of luck to them. Lewis Bate is heading to Leeds, and he's I believe he's gone straight to the under 23s. But I think there's a pathway to the first team as Monster CFC. By the way, Monster CFC, great content creator, speaks his mind. Listen, if you guys want to hear like unfiltered thoughts, watch Monster CFC. Also watch Occasional Filter Football as well. Make sure you guys go subscribe to that. It's run by this man himself, Kayo, who is saying Alex Goldberg in his clips. Listen, I didn't say anything in it. Like, I'm just reading out the comments. But what I'm saying is that he might be right. Let's see what Kai originally said something. A bit over 2 weeks for the start of the season, no new striker. We fighting for top 4. We'll address that in a minute. Let's address this first, then we'll talk about this. But United's system is established on Chelsea system is established on by improvements and super. Facts, exactly. I don't want to be like United. Our system improved. Of course, facts. Reece, Joe, I forgot. Callum Hudson-Odoi, thank you very much. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Reece, Joe, Christensen, Mount, Dujon, Sterling, Broho, Andrew, and Gilmore. When he comes back, we have the most. Yeah, Gilmore's not from the academy, by the way, guys. I need to clarify. Everyone thinks Gilmore's from the academy. He came from Rangers, but he came really young. He was 16 years old when he joined. But yeah, obsession needs to end. That's all I'm saying. And if you, as a fan, have an affinity and a love towards academy players, that's your prerogative. But if you prioritize that over success, then listen, I'm not going to take your opinion seriously, and I don't want to hear. I'm not going to have a discussion with you either because it's a waste of my time. But yeah, no names about saying. Listen, I'm not saying anything, bro. It's true, Hassan. It's true. It's a big problem. But listen, one thing about this youth exodus that I haven't mentioned is I want people to understand this. Even Kai, I want Kai, listen to me, bro. I've said this to you before. We have never sold our youth products so easily and like accepted bids so easily. And I think that, to me, it could mean two things. The reason we're doing this is maybe twofold. Maybe because of the new FIFA rules, which state that you can't have more than 8 loaned out players in the league. And you also cannot. I believe you can't have more than 8 players loaned out from your club, but that doesn't actually include under 23s. So all the players we sold are under 23s. We don't usually sell them. We loan them out, make more money out of them. But I think we need money now. What does that mean, Chelsea fans? Everyone here watching, what do you think that means? That means we're funding the Haaland deal. That's what I'm saying, Kai, bro. I'm telling you. I have a feeling that all of these things, selling Tammy, selling. Obviously, we saw Giroud. We have no striker. I'm telling you, all roads lead to Norway. Quote me on this. All roads lead to Norway, bro. It leads to Erling Brent Haaland. Don't say I don't have any sources. But I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. The way we're moving, the reports coming out, we're signing someone big. It doesn't take, the deal for Haaland cannot be. Let me actually move on to my next topic. The deal for Haaland is not going to be done in a short amount of time. I'm telling you. But I know that there is an explanation for academy players leaving so easily. But I think the way I'm seeing us move is we're just making profit, man. We're trying to make as much money we're trying to put as much money together as we can in order not to fund this deal, but to make space for him, wages wise and fees wise. Now, this is not to say that Roman Abramovich doesn't have the money to just pay for Haaland now. Of course he does. But people need to understand, in a club, you make space for him in terms of wages, in terms of wage space, and then in terms of many things, making space for him in the squad. And the way to do that is by selling players, selling bit part players. That's what I'm saying. Haaland I'm 90% sure he's come. Let me read some of the comments before I move on. This will kill me if... Listen, me and you both, bro. Me and you both. Werner, honestly, man, one thing I really has about him, one-on-one, he's terrible. But this is a different topic. Let me not go on a tangent. Say it fast, bro. Listen, I told you, bro. I had to build up the tension, man. I had to build up the suspense. 163 million on the squad alone. Selling Deadwood clears. Thank you, Hassan. There you go. We got an accountant in the comments. Yeah, this might be a last day thing. It will be a last day thing. I promise you. One thing I will say is I'm not a youth hater or propaganda, but we will regret Tomori. In my opinion, he's a top class. Listen, I agree with you. The reason I accept the Tomori discussion is because we didn't have someone, a centre-back who is world-class or incredible that he couldn't displace. So I can hear your argument about Tomori. I still don't think we're going to miss him, I'll be honest with you. He's not going to be anywhere near a miss as KDB and Mata. What am I talking about? As KDB and other players that we let go of too quick. But we'll be fine, man. I promise you. If we end up... Kai, I'm telling you, Haaland's coming. And then you can come back to me. Me and you already have a bet that you haven't paid up on, but I'm coming for you, man. Melina saying, I reckon Tammy will go to... Listen, Melina, he could be coming to your club. I'm going to talk about this later, actually, Tammy. I'm going to touch on him very quickly. Also, yeah, we don't know the rules about FFP, Hassan. We don't know what it's going to be like. So, who knows, man? I have given up. Please, no, bro. Have some faith. Have some faith. I know that the club has let us down before, right? In terms of being successful, and having a good window after. But we already have a very good squad. Have some faith, bro. Marina is a woman who has squeezed out as much money as she can from the likes of Bakayoko, Barkley, and other things. Business-wise, I think she understands that this deal makes sense for us. He is a global brand, Haaland can possibly be a global brand who can transform a club. And people understand that he might cost a lot of money, but he also generates just as much. 4-1 wait, are QPR winning 4-1 or are United winning 4-1? Just clarify that for me. I know United and QPR are currently playing. Melina's laughing at my guy here. Slens, Deadwood alone. Check the wages. Are we cleared so far? 15. That's what I'm saying. People think that net. I know people talk about net spend. Net spend, it does exist for me personally. I think it does, but I think you have to measure in wages and other fees. So people think that it's all about transfer and selling someone. No, wages are important. Wages take up like 6-7 million player a pop from a club. So one player could cost 6-7 million a year. Do you understand? Plus his transfer fee. That 7 million in a year goes into 4 years. It's 21 million? So think about it's not finances are not that simple. It's not FIFA. Understand that. No cap. What a noise. Joao Felix, Dybala. Okay, so Dybala is out of the question. He's signing a new contract at Juventus. Joao Felix would command a very high fee. I don't see Atletico letting him go for very cheap because they bought him for a very expensive price. And Lukaku is probably the most likely one from this list. Kai, have some faith, bro. Have some faith. Have some faith. I think we could get the wages off the books. I don't think it's for a move. Listen. But yeah, let me get on to my next topic. So this headline says here 130 million. So I believe it was Football 365 who broke out the story of us bidding 130 million. The details of this bid is that, number one, there will be add-ons included in this. Agent fees are included in this. And I believe it's 130 million pounds, which translates to 150 million euros. The important thing to note about this is that apparently Roman has sanctioned this, and he said that he doesn't want to go over this price. Read into that what you will. I think if this is true, Dortmund, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. Dortmund would be very daft to turn this down. Because next year, this isn't... People tell me it's like the Sancho deal. The reason it's not the same thing is because Sancho's price and transfer fee did not get cut in half the year after United bid last year. But Haaland's will. it will be cut in half. I believe his release clause is around 75 million euros next year. And that will be, I can promise you, the first day of the transfer window next year, that will be paid for. Depending on how good the season is, obviously, Haaland, unless he has a catastrophic failure of a season. But yeah, next year, he's going for more than half that price. If the bid is actually been put in, any club in the world, I don't care who you are, it would be idiotic to not listen to what we have to say, to not entertain the offer. I know they need to get as much money as they can, but honestly, it would be very stupid to turn it down. So I'm saying, listen, it's not. I don't think it's officially put in this bid. I think this bid is probably an informal bid put by Chelsea, and we want to test the waters with Dortmund. But you never know, man. Let me read some of your comments before I move on. I think we could do it. I don't think it's trying to. Yeah, of course. Jan broke it first. I don't know if I actually agree with you there, Hassan. I haven't seen Jan break out a story of us putting a bid in. You guys are talking to each other, so I'm going to move on. Yes, I think they should. I think listen, Dortmund are a selling club. Let's not beat around the bush. They're a selling club, and the truth is that a selling club is receiving its biggest ever offer for one of their best ever players. Think of it that way. It would be daft not to accept. That's the only way I see it. Yeah, listen, C1 London. When it comes to bids, we won't put an official bid if we know it's going to get rejected right away. Don't let these newspapers push you around and drag you left and right. Just be smart about this. Think about this. Why would they put a bid in that's going to get rejected, like an official bid? They put an informal bid. Talk to the agents. Talk to the club in a secret meeting or a closed door meeting. Put something on the table, and they accept it or they reject it, and then you carry on and you put the official bid in, and so on and so forth. That's how it works. Sign Haaland. Yeah. So when it comes to the Haaland replacement, Marlin, we were told that apparently it's a Sancho replacement, but the guy plays as a striker, so it'll be interesting to see. Listen, 130 million bid. My opinion of the story is, I realize one thing, guys, by the way. When I break out stories for you, I will also let you know if I believe it's fake, or I'll just give you the validity of it. Obviously, I'm not flipping expert, but just my opinion, obviously. Listen, I think the story, I think there's truth to it in terms of us sitting on the table and talking to his representatives and Dortmund's representatives. And I think we might put this bid in. That's my opinion, and I think it will be accepted. And we will go on to sign Haaland. But as I said, I'm not pretending to be an in-the-know account. There's a lot of accounts out there that apparently are in-the-know accounts, and you can go you can go on their Twitter and see what kind of content they're spreading. But that's not what I'm doing here. Just giving you my opinion. Just spreading the news. I do my research before I do my videos. I look around for things. That's why Griezmann's story was the first one I broke out, because not a lot of people are talking about it. But today, Mundo Deportivo have actually spoken about Griezmann. That's what I'm saying. I'm just putting the news out there. But yeah, listen. Haaland, number 9. He's going to be wearing not this kit, but this color, the royal blue. I hope you guys are ready. Man. He's coming. He's coming for the league. And when he comes, we'll talk then, innit? We'll talk then, my friends. Listen, I'm not going to go on for too long. Just a couple of more news. It's lens source, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I don't have a source. My source is these eyes. I read. I kind of try to do research. I look around the web. That's all I'm saying. Again, I can neither confirm nor deny this. Actually, I will deny it. I have no tier 1 sources. As I said, my sources are my eyes. Just look around, do your own research. Everyone should be doing this. Do your own research, and you will know based on the previous articles that certain journalists have written. if they're blowing smoke up your ass or if they're saying the truth. You'll know. But let's see, man. What can we? Let me just move on to a couple of topics, and I'm gonna end it here. I don't want to do a stream for too long, unless one of you guys wants to jump in the channel. Let me know in the comments. I'll have a couple of people give me your thoughts, and we'll end the channel. We'll end the channel. We'll end the video. But one more thing I want to talk about is Tammy Abraham. Listen, Tammy Abraham. Before I start talking about him, what I want to do is, I want to get his stats out, because Tammy's stats are very outspoken by his fans. People love talking about his stats. People love talking about how he's one of the highest goal scorers in the league under 23. All that jazz. But one thing we do on this channel, we provide content. Yeah, we do provide content, but we provide context as well. Let's have a look here. 1 second, guys. Oh, Tammy. Let's have a look. Melina's favourite striker is out. Hassan's saying. Hassan's trolling, man, as per usual, man. Hassan's always up to no good. Let's have a look here. All right. So I'm not going to look at his stats at Bristol City or Aston Villa, with all due respect to those clubs. What I'm going to be doing is looking at stats for the Premier League. Mr. Tammy Abraham. His full name is, I forgot his full name, but I love his full name. It's proper sick. All right. So his first full season at Chelsea, a season where he came in as the number one choice for Frank Lampard. It wasn't Giroud who was very successful in the Europa League. It was Tammy Abraham. He brought him in, made him his number one striker. Initially in the beginning, I know that changed towards the end of the season, but at the beginning of the season, that is exactly what happened. And I'm going to go through his stats. It will be a bit detailed, because context is important, people. It's important. So 34 games in the Premier League alone, 15 goals and 4 assists. Now, from the outset, those stats look very, very decent. Very decent. Very respectable, especially for your first year as a striker, coming in from Aston Villa in the Championship and playing for Chelsea. Very, very decent. But, very important to note, we started off the season. Guys, I'm not going to go through all of his games, but I'm going to give you an overview. Played against Man United. Big game against the top 6. We lost 4-0. He didn't score. And then he had a 3-game run where he scored 2 goals versus Norwich, 2 goals versus Sheffield United, and 3 goals versus Wolves. So in 3 weeks, what's the date between them? So the dates are August to September. In 1 month, he scored a number of 7 goals. How many goals did we say he scored all season? 15 in the Premier League. That's 7 goals in 1 month. That's credit to him. He had an incredible run. Yeah, incredible run. And that hat-trick was beautiful versus Wolves. One of the goals he scored were chef's kiss. Beautiful. Amazing. But what happened after that? He then went on between the months of September to November. He scored 3 goals. And the 3 goals were against Southampton, Watford, and Crystal Palace. We played Liverpool that in between those games, and he never scored. And it wasn't a good performance as well. I remember at home he missed a chance, a Gills-Ed chance against Liverpool at home. I'm actually talking about the Lampard season, guys. Yeah. And after that, he had a hip injury, which is fair enough, and he came back. From December until February, scored 3 goals. And the 3 goals were against Aston Villa, Arsenal, which is fair play to him. It's not a big team, but we move. And Burnley. You see what I mean? So that's why context is important. I can carry on, by the way. I can carry on. Let me carry on. Between February, which is where we left off, And the end of the season, which was July, obviously, because of the lockdown, 2 goals. One against Liverpool in a 5-3 loss, and one against Crystal Palace. This is why context is important. He went through a lot of barren runs, and he went for a run where he was extremely potent and scored a lot of goals. And listen, people saying here against top half teams. Listen, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to discredit Tammy. But the truth is that I don't like this comment either. We shouldn't undermine our goals against championship. I almost fell into your trap, Hassan. Against smaller half teams. Sorry, the bottom half teams. I need to stop speaking properly. Yeah, we shouldn't undermine that because this season, the season before yesterday, the last one, we failed to beat Southampton, Brighton, Leeds, West Brom, home and away, and these 4 games, right? Against smaller teams, we failed to beat them. So don't undermine the ability to score against these teams because at the end of the day, you still need them to score. Those goals are still important. They still get you the same league trophy if you do end up winning it. But the truth is that Tammy struggles against the top half teams because he gets less space, less chances, and his movement isn't good enough for him to be clinical. He's not clinical either, by the way. That's actually 4 reasons. So Tammy, incredible Chelsea, good Chelsea career. I was gonna say incredible in terms of what we expected from him. But in a top club, I don't see him being clinical. I don't see him being competing amongst the best of the best, which is why he should go to Arsenal. Yeah. So I've given you guys a breakdown of Tammy, yeah? This is what I think. I think he was a good servant of the club, and people were complaining that he celebrated when he won the Champions League. Let me remind you, he might have scored 15 goals, and there might have been goals that are like far enough in between, but that got us top 4, which let us play in that competition that we won last year. Do you remember what competition it was? Champions League. And he contributed in some way. So he can celebrate as much as he wants, man. He deserves to celebrate. So does Giroud. So does Kepa to an extent. So does everyone else. Let's see what you guys are saying. Tammy would look saucy in an Arsenal kit. I wonder what Melina thinks. Melina actually she made her thoughts clear. She's like, Chelsea played the false 9 time. That's all I'm saying. I'll be honest with you though. One thing about Tammy is that I think for a team like Aston Villa, like Spurs, West Ham, he would actually score between 10 to 15 goals. You know what I'm going to own up to? But on the terrace, I said 15 to 20 goals. I said on the terrace, and I'm going to stand by it, even though I got a lot of backlash from it. I think he can. The reason I say that, let me just take this comment off because it's just in my face. With all due respect to you, One London, I think he can because when you play in a team that isn't necessarily an offensive team, you don't face teams that shut up shop and are compact. So you can get chances on the breakaway. You can get more than one chance sometimes because it's an open game and it's not a game that is very tight and that teams are very pragmatic. When 2 pragmatic teams play one another, the onus, sometimes you see the game become actually quite exciting. And Tammy could benefit from that because he'll get more chances, he'll get more space, which means he'll score more goals. Because his ability to be in the right place in the right time is good, but his movement isn't. Like the 2 don't correlate. But he seems to be really good at like finding the the rebounds and to be in the right place to tap it in. But his movement when it comes to like number 10's feeding him isn't great. Do you understand? But yeah. This comment is wild. Tammy Abraham will not reach half the talent potential and the trophies and achievements that De Bruyne will, man. You have nothing to worry about. There'll be nothing like it. But yeah, listen, Tammy, if he does leave, I want 40 million on the table from Arsenal. Nothing less. I'm accepting nothing less, because if someone like Ben White is going for 50 million, put some respect on Tammy's name. He deserves the same amount of money, deserves the same amount of appreciation. And listen, if he goes to Arsenal, good luck to him. But once he puts that shirt on, he's dead to me, bro. Don't care, fam. You play for my rival. I'm no longer your best of supporters. But yeah, listen. I want you guys' thoughts in the comments, yeah, before I head off. I want everyone to say yes or no to this question. Do you think Haaland is signing for Chelsea? I'll wait for you guys to answer, and I'll weigh up. I'll calculate the yeses and the nos. I know there's 7 of you here watching. I don't know if 7 of you are actually commenting, but yes or no, and then I'll head off, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Yeah, but let me see. Okay, that's two yeses and 1 never. Oof, that's harsh. Guys, please don't have discussions in my comment section. Yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy myself, trying to stream. If you have problems with one another, sort it out in the DMs. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 3 yeses and 1 no. That's 4 of you. That's 3 of you. 3 more of you watching. If you're watching, yes or no in the comments. The question is Haaland going to join Chelsea, in your opinion? You know what? I'll take the votes. Melina's a rival fan. She said no, obviously, but I think if you asked her, would Arsenal sign Maddison, she'd probably say yes, innit? So, here's another yes. Love to see it. I like to see this positivity, guys. There's nothing wrong with being pragmatic and being, pessimistic about Chelsea. That's your own prerogative. You support the club the way you want to. But yeah. I did warn you guys to stop. See? I had to put 2 of you in timeout now. I told you guys to stop arguing in my comment section. But listen. Guys. Haaland. I'm gonna end it on here. Haaland is coming. I hope you guys are ready. I hope the rivals are ready. I hope you're trembling. I hope you're shaking. And listen. It's coming. Remember what I said. All roads lead to Norway. Make sure you guys remember that quote by me, yeah? But listen, guys. Before you head off, make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am grateful for all of you who joined me. If you do join me, if you do watch this back, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. I want you to say yes or no, or just leave your thoughts about what I said today. The question is Haaland going to sign for Chelsea? Yes or no in the comments. Leave a like. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you guys in a bit.